Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Gradash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great males on the rule well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into thy labors. Peace and blessings and mercy to sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. We're going to open up with Psalms 83, starting at verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And of course it goes into the tabernacles of Edom. It talks about all the nations coming against you. And this is a small, I don't want to say it's small. It's one of many things that this devil has done, all right, to ensure, or at least make an attempt to ensure that we be cut off as a nation. And this is dealing strictly with the northern kingdom. Of course, there's plenty of history in the southern kingdom and then what has happened to them. Of course, here in Babylon, Judah and Israel are pressed together, and that was for the sake of prophecy. Let me get that as well. I know it's in Ezekiel, or no, it's in Jeremiah. Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Okay, straight to the point. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel, that's the northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, which encompasses Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the southern kingdom, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go. Right, but of course our Redeemer is strong. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. And of course, this is the daughter of Babylon that they're talking about, because in this current Babylonian captivity, the bulk of the northern kingdom had already been, they were in the Assyrian captivity and then came over here to Babylon before it was called Babylon, before these devils, did what they did. So let's get again, just the act and the event is not minor, but I'm saying this is a minor example because it is one of many, many things. Okay, and as you can see, it says the beginning of assimilation. I believe who coined the term "kill the man, kill the Indian, save the man"? Who is this low-life piece of shit? The resource include full text. Captain Richard Henry Pratt. Okay, and he hunted. This man actively hunted on Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. All right, speech was delivered in 1892 during the National Conference of Charities and Corrections held in Denver. And what that means, kill the Indian. That means kill any notion of who you are. Well, of course, they had no understanding. And our brothers, because I say our Northern Kingdom brothers because I don't know if I'm Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom, to be honest. But so we'll just say our brothers. We're going off here, okay, and that is the reason for this current captivity and the brutality that our people have suffered since coming over here, or since this devil has been loosed for his little season to do what he does.
In the United States Midwest, a harrowing search is underway to locate the graves of Native American children taken from their tribes and sent to boarding schools.
These were not schools. It was a prison camp. From as far back as I can remember, I've heard this story. My mom would say she's still lost somewhere.
Before we continue, since I mentioned the curses, 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. All right, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. And that is to this day. So they took the chains off and made you sign contracts. 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Okay, now a part of that assimilation, which also kind of reminds me of like a modern day Hellenization. All right, you can read First Maccabees. Really in its entirety, but around the part where it gets to that wicked root, Antiochus Epiphanes, and how he wanted us to leave, or our ancestors to leave off the covenant that we had with Yahweh, and to all be one people. And there was a huge and that fueled the Maccabean revolt, where you get Hanukkah. That is where Hanukkah comes from. So if you have not already done that, you need to read through Maccabees, the first and the second. If you go to the GNT, Apocrypha Online, GNT, it will give you the Maccabees 3 and 4 as well. I believe there's like 5 or 6 books in total. You can find those. But for the sake of just getting your basic understanding, if you're fairly new, read 1 and 2. Oh, hold on.
The recent discovery in Canada of more than 1,000 graves at former boarding schools exposed the state-sanctioned abuse of Indigenous children. The blueprint for these schools came from across the border in the United States. Now Native American tribes in the US are demanding justice for the forced removal of their children, and a bigger, untold story is emerging. A landmark federal government report now estimates tens of thousands of Indigenous children could have died at US institutions.
You hear that? Tens of thousands. Let me get... 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And you know what? What is that? Look at that. Yoke of iron. But that's okay. Let's queue up. Damn, too far. Get that on standby right there.
I don't like calling these things grave sites or cemeteries. I don't call them that. I call them crime scenes. That's what I call them.
It is a crime scene. And just as Abel's blood cried out when Cain slew him, the blood that this devil has shed since he got here, that blood has cried out. And of course, there's 1,000 days, or what is it? One day is like 1,000. Let me not mess that up. One day. One day is like 1,000 years. Okay. That's what we were looking at. 2 Peter 3 and 8. All right. So, according to the Lord's standards, or I guess to the Lord's perception, because the time and the way we see things here in this plane does not match what goes on in the heavens. So, the Lord blinked his eye, and this was just a couple seconds ago. So, let me see. I can't really scroll it back, but he did say it was like a crime scene. So yeah, just that blood is crying out, and then according to the book of Numbers, is it 10? No. Shed it. Gosh, I can't type. Yeah, Numbers 33 or 35, verse 33. All right, so ye shall not pollute the land where ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Okay, and of course, these scriptures generally would apply to us, but this devil has taken the Lord's covenant into his mouth, and he's used this Bible to as a weapon. He's used the word, and he's used these scriptures as a weapon and as a means of control, not understanding that since you have adopted this thing that wasn't meant for you, that means you also adopt the curses. And of course, that is well on its way. The wrath of the Lord for these devils is well on its way. All right, Lamentations 4, around the 21st verse.
In this report, foreign correspondent gains exclusive access to one community as it begins a journey to uncover the truth.
And it holds our practices, our beliefs, our philosophies, our worldviews, all inside.
Shah, red ARP. Shah, red ARP.
The language is literally the heart and soul of our people.
And that is also true for your actual identity as an Israelite. And that is why you were made to speak the language of your oppressor. And it's always an attack on the children. The children are taught the ways of their oppressor, and then they perpetuate it, just as they tried to do, or actually they did in the Hellenization period. So that is why folks didn't know the Hebrew. Nobody understood. And then the Spirit of the Lord went out into the earth by way of his prophets that he sent out, the men of the great millstone and their elders and those who preached the like doctrine. And now the Lashuan Kadash is in the earth, and the language is coming back, and it gives meaning. Only this English is a dead language, but when you really study our actual language, or at least what we have in this present time, the words put together have pictures, and everything has a meaning. There's no just emptiness to it. Is the best way I can put it. It's the first 10 of the sum of numbers. Or so one Abba Gadaha is one, can represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. And the symbols also together can paint a picture. So there's nothing new under the sun, right? According to the book of Ecclesiastes, these devils understand how to, according to Psalms 83, make a tumult against us. They knew, and that was given unto them by the Lord because of our transgression. So we'll end it off on, we'll end it off on 2. And I want you to see how Edom is always mentioned with the daughter of Babylon, and is always talking about destruction, complete and utter destruction, fire, none shall inhabit the land, right? Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, right? Because in the Hellenization period, you were not allowed to keep the Sabbath. You were not allowed to call yourself an Israelite. You're not, of course, that goes along with not speaking your language. You were not allowed to circumcise your children, and the children that they did find circumcised, they killed those kids. They hung them about their neck. Of course, they, any and all manner of brutality. So, of course, the patience and the faith of the saints is he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. Right? That is the patience and the faith of the saints. And we'll end it on Lamentation. We'll end it on Lamentation, since I mentioned it earlier, because this devil, again, did not read the fine print. So everything that he has done will be coming back unto him and rendered double. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter. Rejoice and be glad, because he's talking to us like our punishment is over, right? We're coming to an end. However, there's that straight gate we got to walk through, but other than that, it's almost over. And of course, the Lord said, while everyone else is hungry, his servants will eat. While everyone else is thirsty, his servants will drink. Okay? All right, so you see the comma. It's a separation. O daughter of Edom that dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right? And people will say, well, I thought only the Israelites can sin. That is why I got that scripture where it says, take thy covenant into my mouth. I didn't get it. Psalms 50:16. So let's just get that, because look out of here. What is it? All right. So let's just get that just for the sake of being thorough. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction? And this devil does everything he is a clean cut opposite of righteousness. Like for an example, those small head people over there in the land, all right, those bastards. The Lord says you're not supposed to have your head covered, while you're doing the daily duties of priesthood, or while you're praying, or while you're in the synagogue. In our people, the mitre or the mitre was your head was wrapped, but your crown was exposed. These devils have the very spot that's supposed to be open covered. And that's just one example. There's one small example. They are clean contrary. And that is the head tribe of Esau, Edom, right? Amalek. Since thou hatest destruction, and cast my words behind thee. Right, because they took this word and they used it as a means of control. They used it as a weapon, but didn't actually follow what it was supposed to be followed. So you pick this up, and now you picked up this book, and now you're going to partake of the plagues, which it was always meant for you to do. All right, now we can read 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So your destruction is well on its way. And us being here, the remnant being alive, the spirit going out into the earth, and exposing you, according to 2 Thessalonians, that man of sin being revealed. All of these things are a witness against you, which is why you want to wipe us out so bad, but you can't. You can't. The Lord won't allow it. So with that being said, shalom.